I'm okay. I just smoked another to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. You can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hit up in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sick and I on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
3rd and 1. And not only do you choose a pass play, you dial up one down deep to Josh Reynolds. What? What the Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just, wow. Holy I'm mad again. I'm re-mad again. It's happening.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin More.
What up, though?
We are live from the Coliseum nightclub, as always, on every single Monday. Guys, come through, come chill with your boys, man. We got Young Sus, JB Smooth in the TD booth, and I'm a lot more calm than I was yesterday, quite clearly, Spinny.
Yeah, it's, I feel like we all went through that as Lions fans after watching that game. I know I was watching it with the boys, and I just kind of fell apart. It was tough to watch. I didn't know what was going on. Had to go outside, take a breather. Darius left for like 20 minutes. I don't know where he went, but it was tough, man. It was a tough pill to swallow, but it's early. It's early.
Yeah.
It's only week 3. That is a tough loss due to some tough decisions made down the stretch.
That's why you're pissed. That's why you're pissed.
That's why you're pissed, because they were the same things we saw last year cost us games, and they continued over this season. So hopefully I'm not going to panic, though. I'm not going to freak out because, again, I had them at 7 wins before the season. I still expect that. I had a loss here before the season.
Yeah.
I expected that. I will admit I got excited seeing how we played against Philly, seeing how we went out there and dominated the Commanders. But
how could you not?
How can you not?
Fish voice.
How can you not? But, yeah, it was a tough pill to swallow, a tough loss to take. But we got Seattle this week, and hopefully we can bounce back. Got Seattle at home. Bye. Geno Smith. He ain't even Kirk Cousins. So hopefully we can take care of Geno.
Yeah, and first and foremost, I want to apologize to anybody tuned in for the positives. All right, anyone tuned in to hear like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because like Dan Kimball said, it's not a light. That's a freaking freight train coming. Yesterday was bad. I guess there are actually a few good things maybe you could point to, but a lot more bad, and it sucks. And I think it sucks mostly because majority of it comes from. Yesterday, honestly, leadership. There were a lot of execution stuff there too. Obviously, just as there is in every game. That's just how football goes. But we had that one, and then it's definitely like why it hurts the most, man. But breaking into some Pistons news a little bit, just, let the people know. Kemba Walker will not be with the team when training camp starts tomorrow. Detroit Pistons will have open practice. Your boys will be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kung Fu Spinning, myself. Are you coming, Sus?
Sir. Yes, sir. I will be there.
Bet. We'll be downtown next week from 10 to 11 practices. And after that, we're heading to the Brass Rail to watch Detroit Lions hopefully rebound from what we saw yesterday. But
yes,
I had to sneak that in there. Tracy Walker, if you guys haven't heard already, out for the season. Torn Achilles. DeAndre Swift to most likely miss some time due to a sprained shoulder. He also has that ankle issue that he's been dealing with that we haven't really seen on the field up until yesterday. Yesterday, I saw him nagging at the ankle and limping a few times. So that sucks that you added on a shoulder injury to that. But, it's the game and how it goes. But just a few updates there. Dan Campbell did speak with the media today. I was laughing, Spinny, because Detroit Lions got a lot of new fans thanks to Hard Knocks. But one of them happens to be former All-Pro, Pro Bowl wide receiver, Dez Bryant.
Dez Bryant.
He had his first Detroit Lions fan experience. Sauce, you got that graphic by? Here's Dez Bryant. Poor guy, man. Poor guy doesn't even know his first time having to deal with this. And, yeah. What do you feel about the Dez Bryant situations?
It's cool to see. It's cool to see when you have guys like Dez Bryant supporting your team. He's out there. He's rooting for the Lions. He's rooting for Dan Campbell. He's making a lot of stuff happen. And, yeah, like you said, he had his first Lions experience, which we all have experienced too much of in our lives. We all have dealt with too much. So, yeah, man, it sucks. But, Dez, welcome to the club, man. This is Lions fandom. This is what happens. And, yeah, we got the tweet up there somewhere. Sus is scouring the archives for it. But I feel it. All Lions fans have felt this pain before.
Yeah.
And it's just going to continue to irradiate from Lions fans. When they see losses like this, when they see things that could have been handled in a different way, plays that could have been called a different way, situations that should have fallen a different way, and they didn't, and they end up in losses. And, yeah, I mean, Tracy Walker being out plays a big role in KJ Osborne being that wide open on that play. Not going to say it doesn't. Having guys gone, Aiden Hutchinson banged up, didn't do anything. Nothing in the whole game. Didn't record a sack, didn't record a tackle, had 2 pressures in the whole game. So it's tough, man. It's tough when you're asking a lot on your defense. You're asking, you can't ask your offense to go out there and score 30 points every game because it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that was rough, man. It was rough outing. And like you said, yeah, KJ Osborne wide open. You heard there's communication issues last week. They've been talking about it all week last week. Here comes this week, and we lose on just that, a communication issue in the defense. But, again, ultimately, I think the momentum swung a lot earlier than that. And that's why I was pissed off. Ever since, and I'll say it right now, I did want to save a little bit for the next segment, but, that 3rd and 1, Spinny, as anybody who's been here since the beginning of the show, you saw my reaction to it, man. And we spent all week last week praising Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
And that's, the biggest head scratcher is, what? How? I'm freaking out a little bit now again, but, there's, I guess, a positive. And I'm not even going to say positive, but, I guess reality of the situation is, yeah, we are working with, or we do have a first-time, play caller in Ben Johnson. We do have a second-year head coach, and these are learning experiences for them, I guess you'd say. Yeah, you could look at teams like Doug Peterson and the Jaguars yesterday beat the Los Angeles Chargers, but that's Doug Peterson, Super Bowl winning coach. I'm saying he's been through it. So, I don't know, man. I mean, Rob Saleh, yesterday hurt, man. It hurt because of, what we bought into so far. And we saw, the production of it, too. So it's we can't just throw all that away, too, and pretend like none of that happened. You know what I'm saying? We can't pretend like we even expected to be up by 10 in the fourth quarter, I guess, is the words I'm looking for. I don't even know. It hurt.
It is. It does hurt. It does a lot of things like that. But excuse me,
hairball.
No, but yeah, it's you didn't expect to be there. You didn't expect to be up by 2 scores, but you were. I don't care what you expected going into it. You had the game. You led or were tied for all of the game. So you expect them to go out there and end the game and win the game, and they didn't. And it was a lot because of coaching mistakes. It was a lot because of errors in play calling, errors in judgment, errors in clock management. So these are things, like I said, that haunted us last year in a terrible season. So you hate to see that performance repeated. You hate to see those consistencies staying in this year. Dan Campbell even said in Hard Knocks, those last 2 minutes of the game, last 2 minutes of the half, that's what really matters.
Yeah.
That's where you figure out what you have in guys.
D. Smitty, the chat says, in the Woodward Sports chat says, Easy, don't cry until we're mathematically out of it. I got something to tell you guys. I don't know that we're, mathematically at any point going to be in it. Maybe, in a graphic, I know I wasn't expecting playoffs this year. I don't think that Dan Campbell and them were expecting playoffs this year. I mean, they've said it multiple times. We're kind of just taking it game by game at this point. It's very much developmental stage of the team. That's why it's another weird way to look at yesterday's games because, that part is true. But, like we said time and time again, just within the first 15 minutes, we had that game. So I guess at this point, just kind of like what Stick said. I texted him a little bit earlier. He said it just sucks to have expectations. It's easier, when you lose and, you're expected to lose, but you're at a point where you're expected to win.
Yeah.
And not even necessarily that. I mean, we picked them to win, you and I. But they literally had the game in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks to have the expectation that you're going to win. You're up double digits with 10 minutes to go. You have the ball in your hands, and then you run. Oh, my God. You dial it up deep. Dial it up deep for Josh Reynolds, and I'm going to save that take for after the break. But, yeah, it just hurts, man. But in good news, I guess, this is break from lines a little bit, just bring a couple smiles to our face. And this may have to do with a little bit of former Detroit Lion, Dan Orlowski, ESPN analyst. Honestly, one of my favorite analysts out right now.
Oh, yeah, Dan's great.
Dan is great. was popping bottles last night because Jimmy G hopped out of the end zone. Did his damn thing. Yes, look at this.
It wasn't nearly as bad as Dan's. It wasn't nearly as bad as Dan's.
Yeah.
Jimmy G just took one step too many back.
Yeah.
While Dan literally ran 20 yards toward the sidelines out of bounds. So
it's almost better that Jimmy G stepped out of bounds because he threw a pick six to Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
so,
it was
not Nick Chubb. I'm sorry, Bradley
Chubb.
Yeah. Ah, man. I'm happy though. I'm happy that wasn't just a Lions thing now. But like you said, no, not nearly as worse.
Not nearly as bad.
Not even close.
But yeah, shout out to Dan. He got the monkey off his back. He's feeling good now.
Dan was running for his life. Yeah. His graphic.
Jared Allen chasing him down.
Jared Allen, something's out. He's still running like
Yeah, you saw the fear in his eyes.
It's like a Christmas Story bully. Like he's running from that dude.
Yeah, it's tough. We have a lot to break down though, so make sure you guys tune in at the one, the only, the WoodwardSports.com. WoodwardSports.com has got everything you need. Make sure you check it out and tune in because we got a lot to break down about this Lions game, about different performances, different injuries. We woke up with arguably our biggest key player on both sides of the ball going to miss some significant time.
Yeah.
So that is not good to wake up, especially on a loss Monday. But we'll see where we can go with that. And, Eazy, we're chilling here at Coliseum Nightclub. We're trying to drink away our sorrows. What would you do that one of their offerings, something they offer that you can
the mulligan made by Gypsy Vodka, Spinny. It's what I need right now to even continue on with this show. Having lived what I lived through as a Detroit Lions fan and that game yesterday, they got the iced tea lemonade mixed with the vodka, 8% alcohol. It's the real deal. And as we say always, guys, do me two favors, man. Make sure you guys check out the Mulligan at a Total Wine or golf course near you and drink responsibly. This is Woodward Heavyweights. We'll be right back talking more Detroit Lions.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Now, welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin Mo Rex.
What up, dog?
We got Young Sus, JB Smooth in the TD booth. Getting into it, man. We just gotta get it over with. I know we teased a little bit just now in the beginning, but time to get to the nitty gritty. I actually should let you go first, 'cause mine's quite long. All right, I got a lot built up. You couldn't tell from that intro video, man. But what happened yesterday? What is your overreaction? Why did yesterday happen?
It was mental mistakes. Mental mistakes. Dan Campbell got in his head too much. He thought about it too much. You've been going for it on fourth down all game. You get 4 yards, you win the game. It's as simple as that. You go for it on fourth down, you get 4 yards, you win the game. I understand Amon-Ra St. Brown banged up. DeAndre Swift banged up. Josh Reynolds banged up. You need to have confidence in your guy, Jared Goff. You have instilled this all year. He is our guy this year. We are confident in him. We are confident in his decision-making. He was spinning it last night. You have guys out there that can make a play, and instead you try an Austin Seibert field goal. That would not make it more than a touchdown game. It would have made it a 6-point game even if he made it. So I would have rather had him punt it and force them to go all the way down the field rather than attempt a field goal where you know your guy is not going to hit it. Like, everybody knew he wasn't going to knock that down. And you look at this. They had a plus 5.4% win percentage if you go for it. If you go for it, the percentage to succeed is 51%. Percentage of failure is 70%. 100% win percentage if you succeed, if you get that first down. If you're kicking the field goal, 65% success rate, 66% fail rate, and an 87% win rate if you succeed. It's just embarrassing to me. Like, This is this guy's motive. He is grit. He is humble. He is. We're your guys. You're our guys. We're gonna go out there and do it. The strength of your team this year has been your offense. You put the ball in your offense's hands and you ask them to get 4 yards. That's not asking too much. Is that asking too much? I don't think that's asking too much. You send them out there, you have Jared Goff throw a 5-yard out to somebody, and you get the first down, and you win the damn football game. Instead, they send Austin Seibert out there, who has already missed a field goal, who is not as confident, who is not this world beater, who is not Matt Prater, so you're putting a gamble in it that he's going to miss it. He does miss it, and then you have a banged-up defense without one of your best coverage players out there, and they run down the field, and they score a touchdown and win the game. And it is a mental error, it is a lapse of judgment, and it is a flat-out bad call by Dan Campbell to put the field goal unit out there. I'll give him credit. He came for it after the game. He said, I regret it. I messed up. That's my fault. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry, Dan. It doesn't matter if you regret it. It doesn't matter if it's your fault. It's over. We lost, and that was because you chose to kick the field goal. If you go for it and miss it and still lose that way, I'm like, all right, oh well, they tried it. They tried to get it. They tried to do what they could do to win the game. But that doesn't win the game. Making that field goal doesn't win the game. I could not believe it. After seeing them go for it and be very successful going for it on 4th down all game, they send the field goal unit out there to stall. It's tough. It was tough to watch.
Yeah, there were a couple moments where it was like coaching was a little bit iffy. I'd point to that moment. Personally, for me, and I kind of said it in the intro there too, is like fourth quarter. It was like 11:50 to go, 10:50 to go. It's 3rd and 1. We have the ball in Vikings territory, and I don't know whether it was, and I don't know who to blame for it, but I don't know whether it's Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, or Jared Goff, because the bright idea at 3rd and 1, when we're averaging over 4 yards per carry before contact, was to dial it up deep to Josh Reynolds,
the serpent of death.
The same guy who missed a wide-open touchdown earlier in the game. Didn't even know the ball was there. Yeah. In fact, we had a rookie on the sideline make this face, young sus. Jamison Williams was even disgusted by it. And now we know, and all due respect to Josh Reynolds, because, yes, we have him on the team. Yes, he's been productive for us. The realistic of the situation, though, he's a backup. Look at this face. Like, what, bro? He had no answer for that. He was no one to bitch about, no one to put your hands up in the air and make question marks about. We dialed it up deep to that guy on 3rd and 1 when you're averaging 4 yards a carry. That's when I felt the momentum swing, because you know what happened after that, Spinny? They got the ball back. The Vikings started their drive on their 43, and they took it back for a touchdown. And then it was that 3-point game.
Yeah.
And we coughed it up from there. And like, who do you blame at that point, right? Because I'm going to keep it real with you guys. We're the Jared Goff truthers of the network. I think actually everyone in the network is pretty truthful about Jared Goff, but some people want to re-sign him, but we'll look at that later. But Jared Goff holds a little bit of blame of this one, too. Because if being realistic about it, like last week, he kept talking about how he has autonomy of that offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes he goes to that line with 2 plays because he gets to pick which one works out. We went over it actually on Friday. We looked at them, you know what I'm saying? They had a run play, broke it down, went 5 wide, and they got a first down. As Jared Goff. Let me ask you this, actually. Who has the most experience out of the trio? You tell me this. Is it the first-year play caller in Ben Johnson, the second-year head coach in Dan Campbell, or the 7th-year starting quarterback who's won playoff games, been in the Super Bowl, to make that call?
Yeah.
To check that. You can change it. And that's just like a little bit of – because I've been honest with you, like Jared Goff can be good. We all know that. There's no denying that. But there's like difference in guys like that. Actually, I have a tweet. I hope I made the graphic for this one. I think I might not have. But Jalen Hurts yesterday had a touchdown because of a call that he made. He checked at the line. Mm-hmm. And that's just a difference sometimes between like a Jared Goff and the next step up. Because Jalen Hurts is having what? A playoff level, MVP type season. Here we go perfectly. Yeah, from Tim McManus. Jalen Hurts said he made the play call on that touchdown to Devontae Smith at the end of the half. Time was winding down, no timeout, so he took it upon himself. The kicker, the play he called, wasn't even the game plan for this week. That's just like that next little oomph. And I'm not trying to discredit Jared Goff because he just very much is what he is. But that's that at next level. Because he holds a little bit of that too. Because to me, that's when the minimum swing. Now, if we get to the 4th down and 4, 100% you're right, Smitty. Those 3 points do nothing for you. It helps you avoid the tie. You're trying not to lose versus win the game. Because you
had it.
To be Dan Campbell, right? Yeah, you did. To be the guy who I defend when you go for onside kicks, when you do all these 4th downs. By the way, I think the most 4th down conversions he had in any game, 4 out of 6. Like you said, 66% on the day.
Yeah.
You have an elite offensive line, or run game at least. I know the offensive line banged up a little bit. But it's 100% guaranteed you win that game. It's like almost being at the goal line. Let's say it's like 4 yards from a touchdown. You have to take the opportunity.
Yes.
You have to.
You have to.
And we're not bashing him. He came out and said this himself.
No, yeah. He said it himself. He understands. It doesn't make sense to me that this guy, like you said, is the aggressor, is the guy kicking the onside kicks, doing all the things he needs to do. But when that aggressiveness would win you the football game, literally one play to win you the damn football game, he puts it in his pocket.
Yeah.
He goes away from it. He goes away from everything that he's leaned on his career so far. All this aggressiveness, all this play calling, all this going for it. Your offense is humming in this game. Your defense is not. What faith do you have in your defense without its captain, without its signal caller, without its hunter tackle guy to go out there and stop him? It makes absolutely no sense to me. You put the ball in the hands of your $30 million quarterback, and you ask him to get you 4 damn yards. It's not rocket science. It's really not. And if he would have done that, and he wouldn't have gotten it, and they would have lost the same exact way, I would have felt eons better than I did watching them miss that field goal. I would have said at least he went for it. At least he tried to make the play to win the damn game. Because even if you kick that field goal, you're not winning the game.
Yeah.
If you get that 1st down, you take a couple knees, game over.
And part of the hurt for me, too, is the hurt for the team as well, because you have your Amon-Ra St. Brown, your stud wide receiver in his 2nd year, get hurt in that game and fight through it to try to finish. You had DeAndre Swift, same situation, hurt both his shoulder and already a hurt ankle, fight through that game to try to get you a finish. You had what I look at as a 2nd-year corner, but your 3rd overall pick from the 2020 draft, Jeff Okudah, balling out there.
Yes.
Phenomenal
game.
Just shut down Justin Jefferson.
Yes, one of the best
I couldn't be more proud
league.
of that kid.
Yeah.
And it got cashed in for nothing. Because a loss is a loss is a loss. Same way a win's a win's a win, a loss is a loss is a loss. It means nothing. There's no – you can point to that as a moral high side, yes, but the team, I guess, is where it hurts. And that's what I'm getting to is the team sees that. The team sees how much they gave up and put on the line and executed up to their standard, or up to the standard they're asked to be in a winning situation. Mm-hmm. And then to come down to their leader. It's like, say someone here, one of our bosses, just made a horrible decision to put the company at risk, at stake. And it messes with your pockets because you pay for the company. You know what I'm saying? You're part of this team. And when that hurts you morally. You're like, damn. All this effort, everything I'm putting in for nothing.
Yeah.
Now, is it week 3? Yes, 100%. But do you go through those emotions throughout the game? Yes, you do, as a teammate especially. Mm-hmm. We're just fans.
We're fans, yeah.
I promise you, as much as you love this team and you're a fan, you buy your season tickets, everything, this is their job, but this is literally their team. They feel it 10 times worse.
Yes.
And it's I just hope he doesn't lose the locker room, I guess, is what I'm getting to. I mean, I don't want to say that next week's a must-win, but
next week is a must-win.
Think so?
For Dan Campbell to avoid, like you said, losing. I don't want to say losing the locker room because it is early, and they do love this guy. But Seattle at home is a must-win.
Yeah.
Even with the injuries. You got to go out there and you got to win. You got to show that this was just an accident. You got to show that same ferocity that you had against Washington. You got to show that same grit that you had against Philadelphia. You got to show that first half action that you had against Minnesota. It is a must-win. You are a better team. You have a better quarterback. You have a better play caller. You don't have a better head coach. Because Pete Carroll is a good head coach. He's a great head coach. Yeah. Super Bowl winning head coach.
Yeah.
Should be 2-time Super Bowl winning head coach, but they didn't hand the ball off to Marshawn. But You need to go out there and beat Seattle at home. That is a huge game for not only the locker room, but the fan base, for the coaching staff, to avoid having these same questions. Because if you go out there and you lose to Seattle, I guarantee every show on this network, every show in the city is going to say,
on your ass, boy.
Is Dan Campbell real? Is he the real deal? Is Dan Campbell a hologram? Is Dan Campbell an actual coach?
Is life a simulation?
Now, again, I think it's too early for that, but if you go out there and lose to Seattle at home after this performance, and it's from similar mistakes, it's not going to look good for you.
These Lions fans could use a podcast to help them out, get through this mental havoc.
They could, and I'm right there with you. So if you are struggling, or you know someone who is, we got the podcast for you, and that's SMA or the Sports Marketing Agency, because the Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions. So go to thesportsma.com if you are struggling or know someone who is. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, and we'll be right back.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spitmo Rex.
What up, though?
Young Sus in the TD booth, JB Smooth on the 1s and 2s, and as always, you guys can find us live at woodwardsports.com. You got a say in the game? You got a say in the chat? First and foremost, we have an extra mic today. If you guys will make it up to Coliseum, you're more than welcome to hop on the show and give your grief. But other than that, you got the Woodward Sports chat. Comment down below how you're feeling. You know what I'm saying? Where you hurt at. And I know, obviously, we brought up the coaching decisions that key to me in terms of the fourth quarter, which is crazy to think we were up 10 and that just like
evaporated.
Literally evaporated. But there was a couple in between the game, too. I look back and I think to the fourth down where our guy, Jack Fox, took the – I can't think of it. I wonder why it's drawing blank here. But either way, he got hurt on that play. Yeah. Even before that, I think it was even at the end of a quarter where they had the opportunity to reset the whole situation and what they wanted to do with it. But then it took the delay of game and then still called the snap, and then he got messed up. And I get it's, you're away. U.S. Bank Stadium's got the Skull fans are all going crazy and stuff like that. But, that was that was not a good situation either.
No, it was not.
There was a couple of those moments, man.
There were some moments that made you question the decision-making of the coaching staff. It is what it is. It's as simple as that. There were mental errors. There were lapses that good coaches don't let happen, that lose you games, that ultimately result in what we saw at the end of that game, which was a team falling apart in the fourth quarter. So, if I'm grading things from this game, I'm giving the coaching staff as a whole an F.
Wow, an F?
An F.
As a whole?
As a whole. As a whole. No adjustments made. They didn't adapt to Joey said it in the WoodwardSports.com chat. What's worse, Amani O committing penalty after penalty or Aaron Glenn just leaving him in man coverage like nothing was wrong? They didn't adjust to that. They didn't adjust to their game plan when guys went out. They just tried to go out there and do the same thing, and it wasn't working because you didn't have the guys. And the biggest factor of it is in crunch time situations. That's where coaching really matters.
Yeah.
When it's down to the line and the decisions you make affect the results of the game. And they lost the game for the Lions. They really did.
So if I've asked you to take a positive spin on it, is there a way of looking at this and saying, hey, this was a learning experience for Dan Campbell?
I don't think so. Because he had enough of these last year to learn from it. He had enough of these same GD situations last year that he should have learned from it then, and he shouldn't have made the same damn mistake this year when it actually matters, when you have momentum going, when you're coming off a big win, when you have a two-score lead. You shouldn't make the same damn mistakes that cost you games last year this year. You had a whole year to go over it. You had all those games under your belt last year where these same stupid mental errors ended up in losses, and you go out there and you give us the same damn thing and we lose the game. I'm done with learning situations. You should have learned enough by now.
That's fair. I mean, you go back to last year. We lost that first game in Minnesota 17-19 with a much worse team. This year, we're up 10.
Yes.
And, like, I see a couple comments in the Woodward Sports chat. You know, people talking about the pressure from the defensive line and the linebackers. We had the game. We were up 10. Fourth quarter, ball in our hands. 3rd and 1. Dial it up deep for the guy who missed a wide-open deep pass earlier. And then to top it off, like you said, can we look at it as a learning experience? I would love to tell you guys, yeah. Today, Dan Campbell came out and said, yeah, I'd do that again. I like that call on 3rd and 1. What? Is he defending Ben Johnson in that moment? Like,
I don't want to say, like, that's not a terrible call.
That's a horrible call.
It was open. It was a shot play. He should have made the catch.
3rd and 1, Spinny.
Yeah, I know. You get the first
You're
down.
averaging 4 yards a carry.
But DeAndre Swift's out. You have the banged-up offensive line. The running game has not been doing much. Your guy
who gets those short yards is healthy. Jamal Williams ready to go.
Yeah, and he hasn't been doing much up to that point.
Averaging 4.4 carry yesterday.
That game?
Yes.
I don't know.
That's facts.
You can look back
That's
into
by
it,
the numbers.
Up to that game, he was getting stopped in the backfield a lot.
No, he was not. He got stopped in the backfield once. One time. Maybe 2. He wasn't 1 yard. You go for that. That's the strength of your offense. That was a huge coaching error, in my opinion. I thought, and that's what I'm saying, too. Like, truthfully, it's like a pie, right? They all get a slice of it. Campbell, Johnson, and Goff. Because that's what I'm speaking to when I brought up the Jalen Hurts situation from yesterday is like, check your team out of that situation. What are you doing? You're dying up deep to the guy who missed the wide open one earlier. That's 1 yard. That's just where I'm at with it, man. And it sucks, again, because you see the advancements from the coaching staff. We broke down Ben Johnson in a terrific offense last week and why the defensive coordinators have come out and said we're struggling. We're struggling with this one. We are putting up points with Jared Goff at the quarterback position. With DeAndre Swift not being fully healthy and limited and saying the situational football. It hurts from that, man. It hurts from that. And I think I'm starting to side with you on next week being a must-win, just simply based off like the morale of the locker room. Really. What up, though, Sus?
Yeah. I just want to say that it was really disheartening yesterday because it felt like the Lions were not playing to win the game. They were playing to survive. And that is the worst thing in sports, like, to me. When I'm rooting for a team, the last thing I want to see is a team that's trying to hold on rather than a team that's trying to win. You see it so many times in sports with inexperienced coaching staffs, and it often results in catastrophic losses like these. And that's why, I picked Minnesota to win that game. I thought Minnesota was going to bounce back strong. But then when Detroit got out to that early lead, I thought things were great. And then it got really disheartening to watch them lose. So it was just a really, really disheartening loss because they were playing to survive, not playing to win.
That's what I'm saying. They weren't playing to win. They're playing not to lose, which is crazy. Like, you have the lead. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hurts. It hurt, man. I know it hurts in the locker room, too, because, again, those guys are literally getting injured, getting banged up, giving their all in these situations. I saw a comment in the Woodward Sports chat. Lions Mania said, I'm telling you, Dan Campbell took a timeout with 45 seconds left. Gave them enough time to score that touchdown. That's a good point, too.
That is.
You gave them time to draw up that touchdown game-winning play with KJ Osborne.
The same thing he did against the Ravens last year. The same exact thing he did against the Ravens last year.
That's another.
You give them a defensive timeout to go out there, draw up their best play, draw up their game-winning play. And that's what they did. They were the ones on the ropes. They were running up to the line. They needed to spike the ball. And you gave them an out. It's tough. It's tough to see. There's nothing you can say that will make me think that was a good call.
Doug Fungus in the Woodward Sports Chat says, oh, you're going to say they're playing to survive and they're dialing up deep on third down. What game are you watching? No, I'm saying they were playing to survive when they had a 4th and 4 and they kicked the field goal. Oh, by the way, Austin Siebert's longest field goal is 54 yards, and he missed one earlier.
Yeah.
So he's going, it doesn't guarantee anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're playing to survive at that point. That 3rd and 1, no, that was just stupid. Like, beyond stupid to me. And like Ben Johnson's way smarter, especially in terms of football, way smarter than I am. I'm telling you, I was trying to watch the film last week. That stuff is crazy, and I was also curious of how that would travel to the road because they are asked to communicate and do a lot of the extra polling and all that crazy stuff from last week. The wham blocks, double wide counters, like all that good stuff. And I was curious how to see it would apply to the road. It applied okay, but situations like that, run it up the middle, man. 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
It's right there. It's a no-brainer. Yeah, they're all thinking run. Yeah, they all think run when you squat up like that in these tight formations. And guess what? You still run it down their throats because your run game's fantastic this year. It is. Jamal Williams isn't the greatest back. On 12 carries, I think he had yesterday 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, it was just a no-brainer to me, man.
20 carries, 87 yards.
20 carries, 87 yards. Yeah. I mean, it was coaching yesterday.
Yeah.
It was
for sure coaching.
A lot of coaching.
Decision-making, just bad calls. Just bad calls that I thought we saw enough of last year. That I thought they learned from last year.
Yeah, I see.
But this shows me they didn't because when the game was on the line, when the game was in their hands, they made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to sit here and say that now in hindsight, but, man, you can't look at me. That is the worst. Of the 3 options you have on that 4th down play, attempting the field goal is the worst option. Because it doesn't give you a touchdown buffer. It's still only a 6-point game if you make it. And then you kick it off to them and it's brand new. Risk reward on going for it. Obviously, reward you win the game.
Literally win the game.
Win the game.
Win the game.
Risk reward on punting it. You have Jack Fox, fantastic punter, one of the best punters in the league. He kicks it out at the 5-yard line. They got to go the whole length of the field and score a touchdown to win. But instead, you try to kick a field goal, you miss. It doesn't chew any clock. They get the ball back, and your defense is just not only hurt and banged up, but I feel like they're demoralized because they're like, what just happened?
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, at least as a fan, I'm demoralized because I just watched like a phenomenal performance by a guy who's taken nothing but criticism, but a guy who's done nothing but keep his head down and just work his ass off to returning just to the game of football and then to come back and be as elite as he's been. And Jeff Okudah, and we'll get to it. And they have the injuries too. We lost the captain. We lost your guy. Which the timeout, I guess I could look at it from this standpoint. Maybe you want the extra time on the clock for you to have an opportunity to score. Maybe you foresee that happening.
They're going to clock it anyways. They're going to run up there and clock it. They were right there at the ball.
I could see that situation, just again, like wanting the extra time so when you get the ball back. And because we did lose our leader in Tracy Walker. And you did have to get Juju Hughes. Obviously, still was a mishap in that situation.
They didn't get it ready enough because KJ Osborne was wide open.
Yeah.
You know, if you're telling me that timeout was to get our defense ready, well, they didn't get ready enough.
Yeah.
Because that was a complete breakdown in coverage for the game-winning touchdown. You can't let that happen to the third receiver on the team.
And speaking of hurt, Walker out for the season.
Yes.
We'll get to that one. But not before we pay some bills, Smitty.
Yeah.
All right. Take us a break, Sus. Let's get ready for this.
Let me hear about Odds Trader first.
Odds Trader?
Yeah.
Odds Trader is a place where if your heart is broken by the Detroit Lions and you just so happen to believe, or you just been factually informed by a certain sports guy that teams have gone from worst to first in the last 17 of the past 19 years, you would have put some money in the Jacksonville Jaguars at plus odds, and they smacked the Jacksonville Jaguars. But where do you find the best odds? It's at oddstrader.com, guys. They got live play-by-play updates, and they got the best odds. You shop every single odd. Find out where you make the most money on that game at oddstrade.com. Use your head, guys. Do it, man. It's Woodward Heavyweights. We'll be right back.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron. Here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait. It's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin Rex.
What up, though?
Live on WoodwardSports.com. As always, if you guys didn't know, we got Young Sus in the TD booth, JB Smooth right next to him on the 1s and 2s. And I guess moving on from that stuff, because you can only repeat yourself, say the same thing so many times with the coaching staff, and we all get at this point. Moving on to the future, things to be concerned about, or maybe not. I haven't heard your take on this one yet, but if you guys didn't know, captain of this team, one of the leaders in the backfield, a person that Dan Campbell called the quarterback of this defense, Tracy Walker, is out for the season due to the Achilles injury he suffered in yesterday's loss to the Minnesota Vikings. Spinny, what does this mean for the team? How do they replace him? Where you at with this one? I know you love some Tracy Walker, man. You've always loved him since last year.
Yeah, I've really loved Tracy Walker. He is the emotional heartbeat of that defense. He is the play caller of that defense. Dan Campbell called him one of the smartest guys they have out there. You know, he is a guy that in situations he makes the right play. He is the bell cow for that defense. And losing him for the rest of the year is a huge loss. It is an astronomical loss. This is something that they are going to have to scheme for every single week. Because when you had him out there, you had a guy that was a mistake corrector. He was an eraser for that defense. And now you've got who they talked about, they had Juju Hughes out there, who went out there, had 8 tackles. Dan Campbell said he was like, he performed better than I expected him to. Being thrust into that position and having to make plays, he performed better. You got Juju Hughes. You got Ife Melifonwu. You got the draft pick, Kirby Joseph. They even talked about moving Will Harris back to safety.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell said he didn't want to do that because he likes where Will Harris is at now. But he said it's not, nothing's off the table.
Will Harris is awful at safety, so I understand why he's like,
I understand why he doesn't want to do it as well. But, man, I'd like to see Iffy. I'd like to see Iffy back there getting some shine because Iffy is a big guy. He's got ball skills. He can make plays. He's a sure tackler. I'd like to see Iffy out there. But, man, it is going to take a lot out of Aaron Glenn and Aubrey Pleasant to scheme every week without having arguably their best player on defense for the rest of the year.
Definitely like the most you can just utilize him so many ways. Like I'm saying, he's an all-around tool. Like obviously he's decent in coverage. He's great on the blitz. He's great at just recognizing things. He's great when he makes contact with the football carrier. Like Tracy was everything you want to be in the NFL as an NFL player. He was a captain. He was a leader. There's a play call on the defense, like you said, and it sucks. It does suck. I have the options here too. Yeah, Kirby, Iffy, which are very much in the developmental stage of becoming NFL safeties in themselves. Iffy's a former, cornerback turned safety. Kirby is just, coming in the NFL as a safety. Yeah. You're not only asking these guys to play the safety position, but in the Detroit Lions defense specifically, again, they are the play callers. They are the brains of the operation. It sucks. I mean, I think the Sean Elliott, that's one thing I said this at the beginning of the year too. I'm saying they kind of play a similar role where they're kind of just smacking the ball carrier and play a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They're not we run a 4-2 defense. You need that type of guy. The guy kind of utilizes everything.
Sean Elliott played well.
Sean Elliott was smacking him. He's been smacking him all year once he gets there and makes contact. But on the big boys too. There's a couple nice ones there.
Yeah, he cracked Justin Jefferson.
I think the name to emerge out of the situation, I agree with you. I'd say probably Ife Melifonwu. ever since the day we drafted him. I mean, obviously, big body corner. I remember when we went to practice out there, and you're like, yo, who's that? Who's that big guy?
Yeah.
And I was like, I told you, bro. That's iffy. That's iffy out there. You know what I'm saying? I think Iffy's got – this is a fan of me saying this. I have no X and O's reasons to give you this, but buy it if you want to. Cam Chancellor. And I'm not even in terms of like just smacking guys, but just like big body guy. I quite clearly can play coverage, former cornerback. We saw him play pretty well against the Green Bay Packers last year, and that's Aaron Rodgers with his best weapon, Devontae Adams, until he got cooked by Aaron Rodgers and his Devontae Adams. But, like, it's Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. You're saying, like, that happens against the best. So if he's probably the guy I'm hoping that could come out of it, I know that he's just coming off of his hamstring injury that he's been battling with all throughout camp. I mean, he literally just got back to practice last week. And, again, he's very much in the developmental stage of becoming an NFL safety, so it's not a good situation at all. I guess there's some encouragement, though, from Deshaun Elliott. But, no, man, we're definitely going to miss Tracy, just like we miss, I believe, John Kaminsky yesterday, too. But my front runner pick would be Iffy, just having the NFL experience. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I think Kirby can be dope, but we had this discussion with Scott as soon as he was drafted, very much in the development stage.
Yeah, he's going to take some time. They even said it. They said it when they drafted him. Brad Holmes said, it's going to take some time before he's ready back there. He is a ball hawk. He is a guy. I saw him play at at Illinois. He is a good player. He can go out there and make plays. He has a knack for getting to the football. But dude, Tracy Walker, man, I feel bad for the guy, man. He just had one of the best days of his life.
Yeah.
The day before with the birth of his child.
Yeah.
And then goes out there and has one of the worst in a season-ending injury, a season-ending Achilles injury.
Do you think there's any like negligence by just like I mean, I get he had the son, you give him a week off, a couple days off. Like, do you think the Achilles, is it possible it happened because it wasn't worked out throughout the week? Or he wasn't, like, you know what I'm saying, like, as well prepared or stretched out for the game because he kind of just been, chilling at the crib with the baby?
I don't want to put anything like that out there. I think he had himself in shape to play. He was ready to play. I'm not sure if an Achilles tear or pop, is that a stress injury? Is that something, or like you said, that can happen from not being ready? But I'm not going to put anything like that out there. All I know is they're going to have to do a lot to make sure they make up for that. And maybe they go out and get somebody. Maybe they go out there and see who's available.
Yeah.
Maybe they give a call to Eric Weddle. I know you came back for the Super Bowl run last year.
For the playoffs.
Yeah, but it's but not Eric Weddle, jokingly, but you see who's available at that safety position because
I guess
that's tough, man. All year, Achilles gone. That might bleed into next year. We see what's going on with Romeo.
With that one though, again, it's like it's a different position. You know what I'm saying, like, I feel like you're more explosive and trying to push the body back on the defensive line versus being out in coverage as a safety or a corner.
We will have Jerry Jacobs back next week, though.
Yes, and I am excited about that because your boy Amani was getting cooked any and everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was the back injury, and to the point that Joey said, who's worse, Aaron Glenn for keeping him in there, or Amani just for being like terrible?
They were. He was getting too handsy at the top of routes for sure.
And that's something he spoke to after the media with our girl, Madam Miller. He spoke to, like, that's just who I am. So that's who I am as a player. That's just, I'm playing my game. It just happens to be. And that happens. There's flags on every single play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, anything could almost be called on any play. It's just to the ref's discretion at that point. Clearly yesterday they were picking on Amani and they weren't fans of it. It's crazy because I feel like Jeff Kuda was being – he's at the top of routes doing it, though. That's fair, too. But, yeah, no, refs were all over that. And not only was he getting cooked, though, by the referees, but in coverage as well. Adam Thielen was cooking them. There was points, the tight end that nobody knew, we had a couple catches, on Amani.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and blame a little of that on the back injury because, like, that's just super, like, uncharacteristic. Obviously, we've had this guy on this team for quite some time. I think he's a fifth-round pick, turned starter, so, like, he's been pretty decent for us. We've never seen anything like that out of Amani Warrior. It's super uncharacteristic. Can we still, like, beat him up over it? Yeah, he had 6 penalties, bud. 6.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
6.
I'm not, that was a bad game. That was a very bad game. And he'll be the first one to say it. So I'm not, I'm not pulling for him or saying, oh, it's not his fault. It was your fault. You're getting too handsy at the top of routes, at the top of, breaks, and that's what happens. There were some kind of, come on, man, calls
Yeah.
Where it's like, call him on the other side, too.
Oh, my God.
So,
The one that we had in the red zone that got called on Hughes.
yeah.
But then the very next drive, on our offensive drive, we saw the exact amount of contact, in my opinion, like damn near similar-ass route, similar-ass amount of contact on Hicks, their linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
We trying to go to Amon-Ra, or maybe it was TJ. There was no cause. Like, come on, dog. That's like stuff like that's annoying. But
I'm cooking. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I'm not blaming anything like that.
I'm not. We had an opportunity to win the game.
We had an opportunity.
We're up 10 in the fourth quarter. No excuses.
But, man, Tracy, especially next week, although Geno Smith is not a world beater, he is not, this big-arm quarterback.
Yeah.
You're going up against DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
Like, that is one of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL. Even if you don't have a fantastic quarterback, those are two guys that can beat you on any play. And it's going to be tough without Tracy Walker back there.
No, 100%. Tracy Walker, we're definitely going to miss him more so as a leader than anything else. I mean, a player too, man. He, like I said, he was a tool to be used in any kind of way. He was the one guy that got the sack on Jalen Hurts. It definitely sucks. I think hopefully what emerges, next man up mentality, that's just how the NFL goes. That's the mantra of this team, Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson said. So hopefully, if he's what we think he can be, hopefully Kirby's what we think he can be. But I just think there's going to be a little bit of time before they become that. But I also think that Aaron Glenn's aware of, what he has. I think he tailors the defense to, what he has in his players. You clearly saw us, switch our entire defense around from last year, 3-4, to now the 4-3, 4-2 lineup now. So I think Aaron Glenn's bright in that way where he's going to, utilize what he has to their strength. So maybe we see the defense change up a little bit. And maybe it benefits because we have a guy who's more prone to, being good in coverage with Iffy. We have a guy who's more prone to making plays in the ball in Kirby. So maybe, the defense then becomes tailored around them and their strengths. I know what becomes a question or what's going to absolutely be key to their success, though, is that front seven.
Yes.
And they're taking the abuse today, too, Spinney. How you feel about that?
They absolutely deserve 100% of the abuse. Kirk Cousins was, sacked once by Alex Anzalone.
Yep.
He was Aiden Hutchinson got 2 pressures, no tackles, no sacks. I understand he's banged up, so I will put a little bit of it on that. But there were plays where he was losing to tight ends. There were plays where he lost on that last play, that touchdown pass. He got blocked by Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook was out of the game.
Or then it was Madison. He got blocked by the running back, and Kirk Cousins was able to make that touchdown pass.
Jeez.
To KJ Osborne to win the game. And, I understand you're injured, but as this purebred, blue chip, you need to be making plays. Charles Harris, he got back there a couple times. I did see him, but they needed to get Kirk Cousins. There was no pressure on Kirk Cousins that whole game. And that was, I think, one of the bigger keys to our loss. Obviously, the mistakes made by the coaching staff, but that no pressure on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
And I there are moments where there was some pressure. Obviously, you saw Kirk Cousins forcing a couple throws early, but it was no type of consistency, and it wasn't what we saw that Commanders game. And after watching the Commanders, the Durs abused once more yesterday, I was kind of chalked it up to Carson Wentz and the Commanders just not being, what they're advertised as headed into that game. But they definitely deserve a little bit of abuse. Just to me, though, just flat out, you're up 10 in the fourth quarter. We could point to that stuff being annoying and all that good stuff, which it is, but you still had an opportunity to win that game. Up 10 fourth quarter, just no excuses, man. No excuses. I don't think that sack even came into the fourth quarter. Maybe it was before then. I apologize for not remembering exactly when, but I don't know, man. The Aiden Hutchinson situation, that I'm very curious if that was, the thigh contusion, results of that. Because, again, if you do look at the sacks he got last week, a lot, some of them were cleanup. He had the one he ran clearly through, and that was when we had John Kaminsky on the line, just causing chaos and causing havoc, being a true heavyweight. It's tough to call. But in the NFL at the same time, you're not always going to be 100% healthy. That's just how that goes as well. So I'm kind of just debating it through my head. But I told you this last week, too. I'd rather have Austin Bryant in at 100% or what seems to be 100% versus Aiden Hutchinson in at 70 to 60%.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm sorry, it was not on the game-winning touch. It was on that that wide open touchdown to Thielen. That first touchdown they scored. Aiden Hutchinson got blocked by Dalvin Cook one-on-one.
Yeah. No bueno.
And I don't know, you can blame that on the thigh contusion. You can. I just looked it up to make sure because I knew it was Dalvin Cook. But yeah, you cannot let that happen. You cannot be this blue chip guy even if you're banged up and get blocked by a running back, which results in a touchdown. In one-on-one pass, nobody else touched him.
And the Woodward Sports Chat, D. Smitty says, we will lose Sunday if Dan Campbell doesn't learn from the mental F-ups and allow Ben Johnson to do his thing. Amani way too handsy this game, but will bounce back. His back was 100%, had to hang on. I agree with his back not being 100%, and obviously that's why we saw the uncharacteristic situations out of him. Ben Johnson had some mistakes here. I'm not going to say, I'm not saying Dan Campbell leave Ben Johnson alone so he could do his thing. No, I'm pretty sure, Ben Johnson was doing his thing. That guy, that 3rd and 1 call, man, was just disgusting to me.
Yeah.
It was just disgusting to me.
Yeah, it's a tough call to make. It's a tough call to make.
It is, man. Nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good. Got a Centron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. And as we say, right now, you can try the 6-pack sampler at CentronWorld.com/Detroit Red Wings. Again, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings, which their season's starting. We'll probably talk about that next week, get a couple guests on as well. But pre-order that 6-pack sampler edition, guys. They got the OG, the cranberry, and the sugar-free if you're trying to drop some LBs. This is Woodward Heavyweights. We stay heavy. We ain't dropping them, boys. Hit that like button. We'll be right back.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin More Rex.
What up, though?
You got Young Sus in the TV booth, JB Smooth right next to him on the 1s and 2s. We're talking about the Detroit Lions win. Just kidding. I wish we were. It's not a victory Monday. It's a sad Monday. One filled with lots of Gypsy vodka and Centron. Keep us going. But we're still going in on the Detroit Lions a little bit. I want to address some things in the chat. First and foremost, this is the one I first saw in the Woodward Sports Chat. As you know, we are live on woodwardsports.com every single day from 5 to 7. But our guy, Micro Mike, says we're awful against mobile quarterbacks. And it just led me up to thinking about Geno Smith. Yes, he's not the thrower that, past couple guys we faced are, but he is mobile. And that front seven, that was atrocious against Jalen Hurts, who I'd say honestly is probably an MVP candidate at this point. I know we're only 3 games in, but if we're counting MVP candidates, he'd be up there.
Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. Does that scare you? Geno Smith? Are you ready to be embarrassed by Geno Smith? Can you foresee it?
Dude, I didn't even think about it like that. No, I think we need to adjust. I think if you have any faith in this defensive coaching staff, Geno Smith will not do that. Because Geno Smith, he is mobile, but he is not Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
He is not that kind of explosive athlete. So I expect us to go out there and perform well against him. I expect us to win that game. And I want them to be good. Oh, man. That pissed me off so much. You just should be embarrassed by Geno Smith. If we go out there and lose to Geno Smith, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, man. I wish I'm really curious to how healthy Aiden was and how much that played into effect. I don't even think he knows the answer to that question, but yeah, I had to ask myself that one because now with him banged up, having to chase down Geno Smith too, like that doesn't. I guess get ready to maybe be disappointed. Lions Mania in the Woodward Sports Chat says Campbell's just a meathead. He's exactly what he looks like. Man, it's tough to defend that one after yesterday.
It is.
It is, man.
It's tough to defend him from the coaching slander after the decisions he made yesterday. Now, it is still very early, so he has a chance to go out there and right the ship. He has the chance to prove that he can add on to it, can learn from it. But like I said, he should have learned from it already. He should have learned from it last year, and this proved that he didn't. So how many more of these performances do you need to see until you start asking those questions?
Someone else asked, what was worst? And we don't have to talk about this in the show, but
I replied.
Which one? Because I can't see.
Spartans for sure.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad. That was really bad.
There was one meme that was like absolute fire. I had to do credit, like at the spirit of Halloween. They're putting on the spirit of Halloween over Spartan Stadium.
That was tough. That was a tough L. Very tough L.
Oh man.
Scotty Hayes should be fired. Jay Johnson should be fired. Offensive line, secondary, quarterback, and receiving coach should be fired.
It was an ugly showing.
Yeah.
It was an ugly showing.
It's terrible.
You want to hop into this DeAndre Swift stuff? You want to do the Detroit line stock?
Let's do stock.
Let's do stock?
Let's do.
All right.
God.
I know, man. Hey, it's.
You want to talk about the Lions, then you bring up that MSU debacle.
You deserve some abuse, man. You're wearing a Blackhawks jersey in Detroit, so.
Darren McCarty knows I own this jersey. Darren McCarty has seen me wearing this jersey. If he's fine with it, the rest of you guys can shut the hell up. Stop being soft.
All right, chat. Play along. All right. We can't do the voting like we usually do. I'm going to start with this name, Kung Fu Spin. He's been taking abuse all day. Dan Campbell, stock up, stock down.
Down.
Sell.
Sell. It's it's gonna be tough for you to find a stock. I'm gonna buy on this.
Did you actually change what you think of him as a whole?
Honestly, it kind of did a little bit. It's because, like I said, man, you've had enough of these games. You've had enough of these situations to where you should have learned from it. Last year, you saw what happened. You had all those close games. You made all those mistakes, and they came back to bite you. And then you go out there and do the same damn thing in a game that matters. Sell it all. No, I'm not ready to jump off the boat yet. I'm not ready to dub him a bad coach yet. But it's getting harder and harder to defend him.
Yeah, I think for me, he's kind of exactly like they are what we thought they were.
Yeah.
But he's just the leader. The other guys handle the X's and O's. Jimmy handles his nip, but nonetheless, it's what he does. He's not the super ultra mega brain guy, But even our super ultra mega brain guy, Ben Johnson, made a couple bonehead mistakes too. But Dan Campbell, he is what we thought he was. Yeah. Sell for me. I'm not out on the long run, but damn, did yesterday hurt? Because I did want to look at it positive, okay, this is a learning experience for him. We haven't been up on the Vikings on the road. Incorrect. We were last year.
Yeah.
With a worse team.
Yes.
So, you could say it's a learning experience, but that you should have learned. You did have those opportunities to learn from last year, and it hurts. So yeah, I'm on my sell. Ben Johnson though, buy, sell. How you feel?
25 sitting on 25 mil. I'm gonna buy Ben Johnson.
Still buying Ben Johnson.
I'm still gonna buy Ben Johnson. It's this is actually a learning experience for Ben Johnson.
Yes,
because he wasn't in those situations last year. He wasn't calling the plays last year. He wasn't doing these things. So this is a legitimate learning situation for him. I think he'll get better from it. I don't think we'll see that happen again. And I expect that defense to be humming against Seattle. That offense, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ben Johnson, yeah, you're right. I'm still buying. We still have the article. We still have, from actual defensive coordinators in the NFL saying they're struggling to figure out ways to cover this guy. I'm sorry, to stop his defense, to prevent his defense. Now, the Vikings did have a couple fronts, hard fronts, big boxes, just like we got here tonight. No, but they had a couple of those moments where they were able to stop the run. But ultimately, you look at that box score, we ran what we wanted to,
yes,
essentially. So, but I'm still buying Ben Johnson. But like you said, first year coordinator, still some situations to learn from. Although I feel like that third and one, there's just no overthinking that, man. Mm-hmm. Especially we had the run game that we had going into that one. We have the chat with Ben Johnson. You guys buying? Just still buying Ben Johnson. What am I thinking, man?
Yeah.
Steve-O, baby, trying to give me some abuse, saying easy. I lost a comment in the Woodward Sports chat. Easy, did you say that Ben Johnson was a genius? Again, the defensive coordinators are still coming out saying we're having a hard time preparing for this one. We did put up 24 points yesterday. Yeah, I still think he is a a guru in terms of like scheme. And that's the whole thing we were basing off of. This is his first year calling plays, being an actual play caller in situational football, but in terms of like scheme and playbook, he's quite clearly been a genius this year. We're the number one. We're going to say we're top 5 offense in the league. Yesterday we technically lost on defensive play, but nonetheless, I think our offense did sputter out at times. But like, yeah, he is new to the play calling part. I still think he's a genius. I'm not the only one saying that. It's beyond me as a commentator, analyst, dude. It's in NFL circles as well. You heard Zach Taylor say it. You obviously Ben Johnson, got this job for a reason. So I'm still on the genius board. Bye, Ben Johnson, 100%. Aiden Hutchinson though. Sheesh. You're feeling it, man. Get out of your feels, man.
Dude,
I know it sucks.
It sucks, man. It sucks I'm not ready to sell just yet. Because I will put that performance on the injury. I will. I'll give him that. He's earned that. I'll give him that performance on the injury. Now, so I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy. I swear. But if he comes out there next week, does his thing, all is forgiven. It was injury. It was early. It is what it is. You can't expect the guy to have 3 sacks in every game.
Yeah.
But you can't expect him to have a tackle. You can't expect him to make a play, to get in the stat sheet.
Yeah.
So I understand if people were selling, but I'm not yet. I'm not ready to jump off yet. I still think he's going to be a good player for us.
Yeah, I still think everything that obviously he was highly regarded, could have been the number 1 overall pick, was rumored to be the number 1 overall pick until Trayvon Walker showcased himself as an athletic freak, and I haven't kept up to what he did yesterday, but I look back to Chase Young's rookie year, and that's where I'm kind of like, that's why I'm using my measuring stick for Aiden Hutchinson, because did he have double sacks that year? No. But did he have a hell of a rookie year? Established himself as a force in this league as a defensive end? Yeah, Chase Young did that in his rookie year, so that's where I'm kind of like putting Aiden Hutchinson's measuring stick. Yesterday was not a good showing.
No.
And I don't know how much, again, you want to blame some of that on the injury. I mean, I don't know. I'm not ready to say that he's a bust. I think people saying that is like,
not a chance.
Yeah, it's just wild to me. You know what I'm saying? I think he's very much still a productive football player, and I'm not that type of guy to normally do this, which is the reality of the situation. The kid sat out all week other than Friday, which he had to show it so he could play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, bye. I needed
bye.
But it was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough outing.
It was tough. It was tough to watch. Like I said, you'd love to see the guy, getting in a stat sheet.
Yeah.
You'd like to see the guy win against tight ends, win against the running back. But I'm gonna put that on the injury. I'll give him this one.
Yeah.
I will. I'll give him this one.
Yeah.
But I need him to go out there and perform next week.
Yeah, 100% too. Like obviously I've never played this as a real stock game, but like if you're buying stock low, buy now. You know what I'm saying? Tell people Aiden Hutchinson is that real deal, so you can tell him to kiss your nuts later on when he's tearing up the game like we've seen him do before.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Chark, I know you've been low on him. I think you sold him last week. We are with him this week.
Bye.
I
I think he needs to get involved more.
Yeah.
I think they need to dial up some plays for him. I think they need to call on his number more because he should. The first 2 passes of the game, it was DJ Chark.
Yeah.
He went out there and he brought him down, and they didn't go back to him for 2 quarters. So
Yeah.
I think he's not being utilized as well as he should. He is a good player. He is a good receiver. He can make things happen down the field. Like Josh Reynolds having 10 targets and DJ Chark having what?
6. 3 for 6 yesterday for 46 yards.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You need to target DJ Chark more. You need to get him involved in the offense more. And, yeah, I'm buying.
Yeah, I guess I could say bye to DJ Chark too, just because I feel like he's going to be utilized differently and like more in scenarios like how he's supposed to be used as the season goes on. And we can use him multiple ways. I think Jameson being healthy, once he is healthy, is going to change a lot of that stuff too. I've said this before, though, with those speedy guys, like Jared Goff isn't equipped to utilize those guys to their best ability because Jared Goff is limited in abilities himself. But DJ Chark did a couple of clutch moments yesterday. So, yeah, I'm buying. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by. We got to pay some bills, Smitty. I want to come back, and I do want to talk about TJ Hockenson, though. That's the last name on the buy-sell list. And I'm curious what people got to say, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's whatever happens with this Lions team, that defense needs to improve dramatically. And if you need your defense to improve dramatically, there's only one place you can go, and that is Guardian Alarm. Because Guardian Alarm gives you peace of mind, whether you're at home or on the road like the Lions were this week. With their 24/7 local monitoring, they make sure the things that are important to you stay safe. All you have to do is call 1-800
Stay out.
That's 1-800
Stay out
right now, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, and we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Sean Jordan from the Sports Marketing Agency, and SMA wouldn't be who we are without our amazing partners.
Thank you so much, Sean. You know, at Detroit Wayne, we want to serve as a resource for you and your families. We offer mental health services, substance use disorder services throughout our communities, and we want to be that source and resource within the community.
If you or a loved one are suffering from a mental health or substance abuse issue, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-241-4949.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy, Eazy, joined by my man, Spin More Rex.
What up, though?
Live on WoodwardSports.com, as we are every single Monday through Friday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern. We got Young Sus to the TV booth, JB's booth next to him, and beautiful things in front of us as well, guys. We are live from the Coliseum nightclub. Make sure you guys come down. Like I said, I cried for it. I made Stick, and I made JB bring the extra mic. So if you guys want to come down to the Coliseum and have a good time, you're also welcome to join the show. I just hope that we're celebrating more wins than we are speaking about losses and bitching about Dan Campbell.
Facts.
It just sucks, bro. It sucks because you do see the good coaching. You do see the stuff from Frank Haley. You do see the stuff from Ben Johnson. You saw what looks like still can be, if he comes back healthy for DeAndre Swift, a career year for him.
Yes.
And that's where it gets tough. But speaking of DeAndre Swift, he is going to be out for a couple of weeks. Looks like he is. He's dealing with the shoulder sprain. I think that's what took him out last year for a couple of games as well. I mean, I don't know if it was a shoulder injury. I don't know if it was a shoulder sprain per se. How you feel about that one, Spinny? Because obviously, I know you're not a big Jamal Williams guy.
I'm not. I'm not anti Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
He's not nearly the player that DeAndre Swift is.
For sure.
And DeAndre Swift is so vital to this offense. The way he gets it going, the different things that he can do coming out of the backfield. We saw, Jamal Williams, like we said,
20 carries,
put up
87
20 carries,
yards.
87 yards, 2 touchdowns. Craig Reynolds had 6 carries for 13 yards. They're going to utilize Justin Jackson more for sure.
Yeah.
With Swift out.
I believe so too.
And maybe they'll have something there because that is a guy who can catch the ball in the backfield. That is a guy who can do different things. But, man, not having DeAndre Swift, who has been the most explosive player in this offense for the first 2.5 games, is going to be tough. It's going to be something they have to build on. Maybe we see more Amon-Ra out of the backfield. Maybe we see more 4 wide receiver sets.
Yeah.
Maybe we see, and
Amon-Ra's banged up now too.
Amon-Ra's banged up. Josh Reynolds is banged up. Can we bring Jameson back next week? Can he come back next week? Is Tom Kennedy going to be used in the offense more? Kennedy! They're going to need guys to step up. Hopefully Amon-Ra's injury, hopefully it was just a rolled ankle, nothing too crazy. They taped him back up and threw him back in there, so I'm sure that's what it was. It was just a rolled ankle.
He was noticeably
yeah, for sure.
Hampered by that injury.
Noticeably hampered by it, not as sharp, not making the same.
Do you think that first catch by him, though, by the way, was a touchdown? The one in the 4th down? He had to jump over the pylon, but was out of bounds?
No,
I
don't think so.
I was curious what we thought about that one. I didn't know what to make of this situation.
I thought it was a touchdown, first of all.
That's what I'm asking.
It looked like he – oh, yeah. I thought you meant, is that where he got injured?
No, yeah. It was a touchdown.
I thought that was a touchdown. Yeah, it looked like he extended the ball over the plane.
Me too. I thought maybe because his body was out of bounds. I don't know why that wasn't. They didn't even hesitate to look at it.
They didn't even think about it. Yeah. It looked like he broke the plane with the
ball up the middle for a 1-yard gain, which they could have did with 11 minutes, 50 seconds to go. The clock was anyway, DeAndre Swift injury sucks for sure. He's one of the most crucial pieces to this offense. Now, I think this offense can still work without him, but it's not nearly as explosive without him. We saw Jamal Williams had a big rush yesterday, one big run. I think he went for like maybe 12 or 15 yards. So I think it's that playmaking ability is still very much there. You can throw that graphic up too if you want, Sus. I know you put your hand up on that one. Whenever we're talking about stuff, just go ahead and throw it up, man. I'm never tripping. But yeah, here it comes from Madeline Miller. Per Tom Pelissero, Detroit Lions running back DeAndre Swift suffered a shoulder sprain in Sunday's game. It's not expected to require surgery. So like I said, it's kind of a good stretch of games to have this happen too. I mean, it's not ever good to have happened, but you obviously have Seattle. It's supposed to be a winnable game for you.
Yeah.
Then you go down to the Patriots, which they haven't looked the same. I think our guy Mac Jones, your guy Mac Jones, I should say, suffered a bit of a high ankle sprain.
High ankle sprain, yeah. He's going to be out a couple weeks.
I mean, that might be sweet for us, but I'm never doubting the GOAT, Bill Belichick, the hoodie. He does have Matt Patricia play calling, though, so that's a plus. And you have a bye
Joe
week.
Judge.
And Joe Judge. And you have the bye week from there, too. Then you go back, then you're headed to Dallas. So maybe a good stretch of games to have that happen at this point of the season, but never a good thing. You need him healthy. I think at some point during the broadcast, too, they're almost questioning the coaching staff for allowing him to continue to play on that ankle because in the NFL season, I mean, it's just not going to get better if you keep playing on it. But you have to eventually give it some time to rest. But in defense of the Detroit Lions coaching staff, we see him on that bum ankle these past 2 weeks, and he's looked phenomenal.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, but he's such a playmaker for this offense. Can it still run without him? Yeah, it's going to run the Jamal Williams way, which is kind of like, north-south, a little bit boring at times, and you're not going to have to see the explosion out of the backfield in terms of pass catcher. But that's where you're kind of hoping they're giving Justin Jackson a few more opportunities. Now, we saw him cough up the ball in the preseason against the third stringers. So I'm sure first stringers will be doing the same thing to him, but at least out of the backfield, at least I'd like to see him in some pass catching situations. And
for sure.
I mean, even mix it up, man. Let's get Amon-Ra back there too if his ankle's feeling good enough.
Yeah, you're going to need all hands on deck. You're going to need guys to make up for it. It's going to be, obviously it's hard to make up for that kind of production, for that kind of explosiveness, for that kind of attention drawn to the defense has to know where he is at all times.
Yeah.
They have to go out there and make plays on him. So not having DeAndre Swift is bad, but like you said, hopefully he'll be back and ready by, our next stretch of games, which is where stuff gets pretty tough. Obviously, Dallas isn't looking as tough, but then you have Miami, and then you have Green Bay, and that stretch of games is when we really need DeAndre Swift ready.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what do you think is more crucial to the team, I guess, in terms of injury? Do you think it's DeAndre Swift, or do you think it's
I think it's DeAndre Swift 100%.
Yeah.
Because our defense was bad either way.
Yeah, but on the game-winning play was play where probably Tracy would have.
Yeah, but on that 3rd and 1, or on that 4th and 4, if you have DeAndre Swift in there, it's a lot easier to go for it.
Yeah, plus quite literally the audible we broke down last week included DeAndre Swift breaking out for a route. You know what I'm saying? So
DeAndre Swift is so vital to the offense to, like I said, set everything up, be that explosive player out of the backfield. Man, it's going to be tough to lose him for sure.
Do you have the stat line from yesterday on Swift?
Yeah, he had 7 carries, 31 yards, and that's it. No catches.
No catches? Oh, no, they had
3 catches,
yards?
15 yards.
Yeah, okay, as I say.
7 carries for 31 yards, 3 catches for 15 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, if for fantasy people, I'd probably maybe look at Craig Reynolds. I think Jamal Williams picked up at this point. He's had 2 multiple touchdown games, but I think Craig Reynolds is a guy we both feel is more talented as a runner per se. Although Jamal Williams got bulk of the carries yesterday, but do you think we need Swift to beat both the Patriots and Seattle Seahawks?
Not Seattle. I think we can go out there with Jamal Williams and Craig Reynolds and beat Seattle.
Yeah,
because it's at home and because they're coming off of this one, but. If Mac Jones is healthy going to Foxborough, it's going to be tough without Swift.
Yeah.
It's going to be very tough without Swift to inch it up out there.
Foxborough especially.
Yes.
No, I'm 100%.
If it was a home game, I'd feel a lot different, but going to Foxborough.
Foxborough is always a toss-up anyway, though.
You're going against Bill Belichick. I don't care, Yeah, he's got Joe Judge
quarterback
and Matt Patricia calling plays. He's got Mac Jones on a bum ankle. You're going to Foxborough to play against Bill Belichick. Come on. It's going to be a tough game, all right?
Yeah, I'm not it is what it is, man. I mean, this is the narrative of DeAndre Swift. You know what I'm saying? Super explosive and amazing when healthy. Just, at times can't stay healthy. That's just the nature of the game. That's football for you sometimes. I definitely think we'll be okay, though. I'm not really tripping. And we're not going to be as sexy to watch.
Yeah,
but we can still get the job done. It's going to be a lot uglier, a lot more grittier. I'll note this too, though. After next week, we get a couple guys back from the IR and then the PUP list, so maybe that helps. I'm praying at least for sure defensively.
Please, Lord.
Yeah,
please, Lord.
Please, Lord.
Hopefully, Amon-Ra St. Brown, just a light ankle sprain. He'll be fine. He'll be back next week doing his Amon-Ra St. Brown tings. Hopefully, Josh Reynolds, as much as we joke about him, he's a vital point to this offense right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's back. Hopefully Jameson Williams, he's ready to go. We can bring him back next week. J-Mo, Unchained. Like, I love it.
Cancel.
I just thought about that. Yeah, that's tough. But that's a tough sentence. J-Mo unhinged. If he's ready to come back and make some plays, that would be amazing.
Need to leave.
Dude looks like he's ready.
Yeah, I'm excited for some J-Mo, dog. Yeah, like, sign me up, 100%, especially now Swift's going to be out for a little bit. But it is what it is, man. Be North South, fantasy owners, make sure you keep an eye out for, hit that little interested in Craig Reynolds, because I think he's going to be utilized more, and maybe Justin Jackson, too. It's going to suck. We're going to lose. Things that, like, Jared Goff was blessed with, DeAndre Swift. You know what I'm saying? You can make that short play to the running back, and sometimes, that amount of yards you threw for, because they're not as explosive and shifty as Swift. But Swift, we saw it, last week against the Commanders, turn that boy to a touchdown after falling himself. So we're going to miss that aspect of it. I still think this offense is productive without Swift. We broke that down a little bit last week. We're watching Ben Johnson, the way he's just doing these running plays. And it helps that one of those games are at home, too. Yeah,
it definitely helps. It helps that you're bringing the Seahawks to Detroit. It helps that you're not going back-to-back-to-back road games, because that is where you catch a bad streak. Yeah. That is where you catch a couple losses that you shouldn't lose. And so I expect us to come back, bounce back against Seattle at home, run the rock, punch them in the mouth, go out there and win that game.
100%. Let's pay some bills, man. We'll be right back. Let's get on a positive note, man. Let's talk about. You know what?
I've been pretty depressed this weekend. I'm not gonna lie.
You're down, bro. I feel it. Dude, your energy is like, I want it off. It's like,
I'm sorry, man. It's Spartans get dog walked.
Oh, that did happen Friday.
Lions lose like that. It's
all right. What you want to talk about? The other
Pistons
games
are coming back.
At least Pistons are coming back. We can talk about Jeff Okudah. That's some good news.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Or we talk about the rest of the NFL, but we'll decide after the break. Take us to the break, Sus. Let's pay some bills.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spinmo Rex.
What up, dog?
Live on WoodwardSports.com. As always, if you guys want to hop in the conversation, make sure you do so in the Woodward Sports chat. We got Young Sus, JB Smooth in the TD booth doing the tings, man. And we just riding, man, cruising along, trying to lick our wounds, man, from a loss. I wish it was a victory Monday. Yeah. Spinny spin himself, had a couple of drinks, and I got to catch up to you, man. Jeff Okudah around the league. Where do you want to take this one?
Let's go around the league. Let's go around the league.
We want to go around the league?
Go around the league. You got to talk about that.
All right. I got one for you. And I actually think I might have even written this down.
Yeah, you did.
It's kind of like a collective. I've tried some things in my life, okay? I'm not one, hey, I'm just keeping it a buck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one to turn down any type of experiments, all in good fun for having a good time, all right? I've been on drugs per se, all right, and I just want to come out and tell you, I think the NFL this year is absolutely tripping. All right, they're on all the drugs. We got the situations like, who would have thought 4 weeks ago if I told you Tua Tagovailoa beats Josh Allen in a game where Josh Allen throws for 2 touchdowns, 400 yards? You'd be like, what? That doesn't even make sense. And then to let you know too that game was 18-21?
Yeah.
Ugh. What if and then I move along in that storyline, right? And I tell you, Jeff Okuda's a shutdown corner in the NFL.
Yeah.
Sound crazy, right?
Sound pretty crazy.
Sound like we tripping. It was all Dan Orlowski's, you know what I'm saying, the safety, that thing's gone now too.
Yeah. The Colts, Matt Ryan and the Colts went out there and beat the Chiefs.
The Bears are 2-1.
The Bears I picked the Bears.
The Chicago Bears are 2-1.
I picked the Bears.
Tied for first in the division.
Yeah.
Over us.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
How does that make you feel?
Not
Bears. The Bears.
Not good. How about the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Chargers yesterday?
Yeah, first in their division.
First in the division. Now, I'll give you, obviously, the Tua situation, him beating the Bills. The Bills' secondary was entirely their second string.
Yeah.
Not their first string safety, not their first string free safety, not the first string corner, not the first string
White,
second
Micah
corner.
Hyde, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and they're missing Ed Oliver, too.
Yeah.
I'm saying, explain that a little bit. Jacksonville Jaguars whooped the Chargers.
Yeah.
now, Justin Herbert was hurt a little bit.
Justin Herbert was hurt.
I'll give you that. But I'm just telling you guys. I told you from worst to first. Watch out for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You guys laughed at me. You were part of that. How you feel about it now?
I mean, yeah. I still think the Colts are going to turn it around and win that division.
They just shut out the Colts.
Yeah, but I think and the Colts just beat the Chiefs this week. So, I expect the Colts to turn around and win that division. But no, the Jags look good. The Jags look good for sure. And one thing I'm saying is maybe the NFC East isn't as bad as we thought. Because I know before the season started, I had Philly, I said, was a Super Bowl contender. You weren't really feeling it until we saw that firsthand. And now you've become a believer in Philadelphia, and you're right on there with me. You know, they're one of the best teams in the league this year so far, obviously.
That too.
And they're going out there. They're 3-0. New York Giants are going for 3-0 against the Cooper Rush-led Dallas Cowboys tonight. And they're getting Thibodeau back.
Tonight, yeah, Thibodeau's game.
Yeah, so I expect the Giants to win that game. They're going to have 2 3-0 teams in that division. Obviously, the Carson Wentz Redskins are a joke. The Dallas Cowboys are a joke. Maybe they'll get better when Dak comes back.
They won. They beat the
Did
Bengals,
I say
too.
Redskins?
You did. You're racist, dude.
Yeah.
Getting canceled.
Commanders.
No,
Bears.
man. Bears 2. Okay, here's my list. I found it finally. I already said the Dolphins. The Jags, worst to first. Chicago Bears 2-1. The Broncos 49ers game last night. I don't know if I was watching good defense.
Oh, my God.
Putrid
Talk about
offenses.
the worst Sunday night football game ever, man.
My Lord.
There were like 12 punts.
10-11 was the final score, if I'm not mistaken. Like, was it good defense or was it bad offense?
It was bad offense.
I think so, too.
JB sent us a picture of the NyQuil chicken. He said, when you let Russ cook.
Yeah, I should have made that one in the graphic,
I
man.
can't believe that. Like, I thought Denver was going to be out cold this year.
Yeah. The AFC West was supposed to be out cold this year. Chargers don't look the same. I mean, obviously Herbert hurt this point, too. Your Raiders. That you and I got drunk and screamed at each other about one of the last episodes on our channel.
Yeah.
0-3.
No, that was the Bengals.
The Bengals and the Raiders. We argued about it all.
We were yelling about the Raiders?
Everything, really. I don't know what we were yelling at that point.
We were going at it. But, yeah, the Raiders, the Oakland Raiders. It's now the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
They are playing terrible.
Playoff team last year that
Derek
added.
Carr looks like dog poop.
Dude, the playoff team last year that added Devontae Adams
The best
and Chandler
receiver
Jones.
in football, one of the best pass rushers in football.
Oh, by the way, they're paying that receiver quarterback money.
Yeah.
And they give up 2 first rounds to get him.
million.
And to start 0-3.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I'm not a big fan of Jack Del Rio after his comments he made recently, but right when they fired him, I'm like, why did you fire this guy? Like I thought they were pretty solid with him. Like they made that one playoff game. Derek Carr looked good to that point, and they had to unfortunately start Connor Cook, which, dude, I was all in at that point. Spartan fan thinking, oh, Connor, this is his time.
Yeah.
This is Brucey's time to shine.
Brucey's time to shine.
Not the truth. But, yeah, the NFL, like I said, guys, I got a little bit of experience. NFL's on drugs. All right? This is on drugs at
It's
this
so
point.
crazy. Dude, first of all, it's week by week in the NFL.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. Crazy things happen in the NFL every week. But then you look at what is going on with the teams that we thought were – obviously, there's growing pains. It's still very early in the season. People need to adapt. The Raiders look like garbage. The Broncos' offense looks like garbage. The Chiefs just went out there and lost to the Matt Ryan Colts. what is happening? What is happening in the NFL? I'm so confused.
And to top it off, and we're going to do a whole segment on this one, but El Jefe, lockdown. Can you throw that stat up there?
Adam
Sus?
said today he reminds him of Jalen Ramsey.
Wow, dude.
I think that's a little too fast, but
I mean,
he's locking down.
Throw that graphic up there, Sus, because look at the names on this list, though. You got week 1, Devontae Smith, which you could say, yeah, he's a younger guy. Devontae Smith, 0 yards, 0 catches.
He went for 160 yards this week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Went dumb. Terry McLaurin had his career high this week against the Philadelphia Eagles, who I'd say have a better secondary.
Yes.
But, excuse me, geez, this beer made me burp a little bit. Terry McLaurin held the 2 catches for just 22 yards by Jeff Okudah. And then Justin Jefferson.
Top 3 receiver in the NFL.
Top 2, and at one point I was saying not 2. But I might have to reshuffle that because
I had him at 3, I think, or 4 on my list.
Oh, yeah, because we just did that. Yeah, I have to find my list. We were deadly afraid of this man last week.
Yes.
Like that's what we were scared of. I think that, I said our game plan, the thing you had to stop is Dalvin Cook, but, obviously Justin Jefferson, a scary man. 3 catches,
clamped.
14 yards,
clamped.
Was bothering him.
And he was following him around the field, too.
All day. He shadowed him.
Yes.
What?
It wasn't like we're breaking off, we're doing that there.
What is happening?
He was following him around the field.
The NFL's on drugs this year, man. I'm telling you. Yeah. And I want some of that shit.
Y'all got that good shit.
Yeah, dude. He shadowed Justin Jefferson, held him to 14 yards. It's still just crazy to think.
It's wild.
It is crazy.
It's wild.
And I saw
he took a page from Big Bro Slay.
He did. Someone said it yesterday. Could you imagine? We could have had Slay and El Jefe. Sheesh, man, sheesh.
And Quandre Diggs.
100%. And this is why I said, too, I think I said this yesterday on because I had to I had to let it go. I had to go live for my cards, say some frustrations. But like I said, any secondary player, tight end, and quarterback, I'm not willing to make it a for sure assessment on until typically 4 games into year 3. That's my new rule that I made yesterday. I was in the car.
Yeah.
Because to the people that are speaking bad on El Jefe, and I joked around situations that happened that were true situations.
Yes.
But I still always said he's only had a rookie year with Matt Patricia. I still always said that we saw Jerry Jacobs emerge from Aubrey Pleasant and Aaron Glenn's defense. I had those high hopes for Jeff Okudah. I didn't think it was going to be this, man.
I did not think it was going to be
this.
I thought he was going to have a good year. We talked about it on the channel. We both said we thought he was going to come out here and have a good year. I did not think it was going to be this good.
Dog, and yesterday, too?
He's looking like a Pro Bowl cornerback.
We had a whole segment on this a couple weeks ago where is this the pass rush helping them in this? Is this Aiden Hutchinson? We got to give them their dues? Not much of a pass rush yesterday. 1 sack. Not a lot of pressures. I don't have the official numbers of the amount of pressures they had, but I know obviously people in the chat, bitching and crying about the defensive line. Not a lot of production for them yesterday, and Jeff Okudah still held down Justin Jefferson.
Had him on clamps.
And bothered him all day too.
Yeah.
At the point where he was dropping balls.
Yeah.
He had a couple drops as well. Yeah, laid him out. The one he didn't catch, threw him out of bounds. There was one where he did have the safety help, whatever. But he saw Okudah come over and still push him to the fans. Was oh, I'm not touching him. I'm not touching him. But, you know what I'm saying? Dude, is this El Jefe? Is this the guy that was advertised? Is this? Are we getting that guy? Because looks like it so far.
It looks like it's
so far. Looks like it so far. Spinny is a beautiful thing, man. I got to watch the All-22. I'm sure he had some safety help, but nonetheless, Kirk Cousins looked that way, then looked away often yesterday.
Often.
And that's a guy you can give 50-50 balls to all day because it's Justin freaking Jefferson.
Yes, and they were scared to go to him because he was getting locked. TF down.
Oh,
but yeah, there's a lot going on. He's out here cutting throats. Jeff Okudah is cutting throats.
Yeah.
And if you need a cut, there's only one place you can go because, as you know, we normally broadcast this show live from the headquarters of Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Birmingham. And it's so dope when I get off the show normally, and I want to, clean up my dead ends a little bit, maybe take an inch or two off. I can go sit down in one of those chairs at the Lady Jane's Birmingham Salon, and I know my girls, Alyssa or Megan, will take care of me, so I highly recommend you get into a Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men near you and let them treat you like a king as well. They're open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. So like I said, man, get into a Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men near you. Walk in anytime, no appointment needed, because at Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
What up, dog? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spinmo Rex.
What up,
live on WoodwardSports.com. As always, I messed up your what up, though. I apologize. You want to do it again?
What?
I feel like I interrupted you. What up,
that's
though?
Good.
Sorry, man.
It's all right.
Live on WoodwardSports.com.
What up, though?
Thanks. All right, we got Young Salsa, TD Booth, JB Smooth along right next to him, talking about the Detroit Lions. We should have did this earlier, man, because I'm in a lot better mood talking about El Jefe.
Yeah.
It's either that or this brew. I don't know which one of the two.
Probably a little bit of both.
I'm having a good time with you. I'm sorry, that was corny. Hit the like button if you guys haven't already.
Dude's been talking about experimenting with different things today.
I'm feeling despair.
I don't know what's going on over here.
I'm just saying. OG Sus in the building.
OG, where's your mom?
Unc Sus.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Unc Sus.
Where's your pops at, Sus? OG Sus in the building? What? Yeah, man, it's just like I'm buying into it at this point. That's probably what I should have put on the buy sell report. Jeff Okudah.
Buy.
Yeah, dude.
Buy. Like you have to. The guy has gone out there.
I tried some stuff. Buy.
Yeah, the guy has gone out there and put in performance after performance after performance so far this year, looking like a legit number one cornerback, locking down good NFL receivers. And you said our little caveat after last week was maybe it was the defense,
line.
The defensive line giving him some help. He went out there this week with no help from his defensive line and locked down one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's insane. Amazing performance. Is he worthy of the number 3 overall pick?
It's looking like it.
Yeah?
I think it's looking like it.
It is looking like it.
I'm with you. Buy. No defensive line help this week, quite clearly, and he's still locked down top 3 receiver in the game. This is a beautiful thing, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this loss hurts so damn much, bro, because like we know the staff is capable of doing good things. Like I know like our main sample size of Jeff Okudah was his rookie year, in which like you're not going to see too many rookies, being out cold their rookie year at the cornerback position. I was blessed with having this conversation with Darius Slay about that. He's like, ain't no cornerback, the rookie year going to be cold like that. Although Sauce Gardner had a couple of situations, one-on-one with Jamar Chase yesterday, had a PBU. But nonetheless,
that was a battle.
Okudah was also led under like some of the worst coaching I've seen in my adult life here, the Detroit Lions fan, Matt Patricia. So
I hate Matt Patricia
we
so
finally
much.
got to see him with another full camp under Aubrey Pleasant and Aaron Glenn. And like, it looks like we got one, folks.
Imagine Jeff Okudah gets a pick 6 against the Matt Patricia-led Patriots offense.
Oh, I can see it.
And if I was Jeff Okudah, I would just whip it out right on the field and be like, right here, Matty. Take some of this, Matty P. Because that would be so gratifying. Not only for him, but all of us as Lions fans.
Dog, he shadowed the best receiver in football yesterday, bro. At this point, are you putting expectations on him to do that week to week?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. I've only, there's nothing that I've seen from him that will make me expect less. I expect him to go out there and continue to do this. I expect him to go out there and continue to have this success.
Yeah.
Regardless of pass rush, regardless of who's lining up against him, because we saw it against the toughest test of his season.
Yeah.
Who's he gonna line up against that's gonna be better than Justin Jefferson this year? Nobody.
Only Justin Jefferson again.
Yeah.
If he remains healthy.
Yeah, we don't play the Raiders.
Yep.
We don't play the Bengals.
Don't play the Bengals.
We don't play the Rams.
Nope.
It's Justin Jefferson again, and then with DK Metcalf.
Yeah, fair to put that expectation. I'm with you. I'm not like you, dude. I mean, that was phenomenal yesterday. Next week, I hope they put him on DK. You can hopefully get the same results. And it's crazy too. Like you watch him. I watched I didn't get to watch the whole game, but on YouTube right now there is like a highlight tape of like what Jeff did yesterday. And I'm sorry, El Jefe. Let me get the name correct. All right, because El Jefe has arrived, and he's just doing everything we saw in college that I thought you can't do at the NFL level. Jamming guys within the 5 yards, and that's what I'll be pleased. I'm sorry, Aaron Glenn said in the Adam Schefter podcast that what I'm saying. I was like, I'm kind of nervous about that strategy because I don't know if Jeff Cruz performed at that level, man, and hopefully Aiden gets his situation together. I hope he heals up. I think this week that we should see that out of him unless he has another extra injury. Hopefully we hear about that from him, and we'll have Maddie on tomorrow to update us on that situation, but. Sky's up, man. How about Aaron Glenn, though, as a defensive coordinator? Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, we see good things that are pleasant. And Glenn, what I'm saying, from the Jerry Jacobs to Jeff Okudah now applied to a third-round pick. But still, obviously, game-winning touchdown lit up yesterday.
Yeah.
We've had the second most points allowed last year. I think, or actually the most last year. Similar situation this year. Are you questioning Aaron Glenn yet? Or are you still, still giving the excuse of, he's cooking with, no seasoning?
He's still cooking with no seasoning. I'm going to give him that. Once he gets all his guys back, once he gets his full, menage of players with Romeo Okwara, with Jerry Jacobs, with Josh Pascal, with these guys, I expect him to go out there and put out better performances. I expect him to go out there and have this defense humming. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But, yeah, it's not looking good for AG.
So AG gets a bit of a pass?
A little bit. Not a lot.
Yeah, I'm with you, too. This is like a battle I actually had myself yesterday, trying to run up the same thing, and he is just put in tough situations. But I looked at the division standings right now, and you have the Bears, obviously, it's so nasty to say, but the Bears, Packers, and Vikings are all tied 2-1. While their points allowed around the 57, the 50 areas, and you go to the Detroit Lions, points for 93, points allowed 97. So it's we're just playing a whole different brand of football. I'm saying, but clearly maybe we're playing to our competition. I don't know. It just seems like every game they're allowed to score just as much too. But yeah, maybe I give him the excuse he's not cooking with full seasoning yet.
It is
even some of the guys he has still on injury reserve too.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess you give him that excuse. I'm cool with giving him that excuse.
And it's still not even when he gets his guys back, it's still not like he's got studs up and down the field out there.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a little bit of an excuse, but we definitely need to see improvement throughout the year.
Yeah.
We need to see it getting better and better. And it has, through the first 3 games, we're not giving up 30 points at least. So, but, yeah, with no Tracy Walker now, we're going to have to really see some schemes, some good coaching out of Aaron Glenn to see, I really want to see what he does to make up for that. Because that is a big loss, no matter how much you look at it. And it's going to impact the defense. And I want to see Aiden Hutchinson in that backfield. I want to see Charles Harris in that backfield. Malcolm Rodriguez, our boy, got 8 tackles again this week. He's performing well. He's continuing to perform well. Anzalone had a great game.
Yeah.
So, and if I would have told you our linebackers were the best part of our defense outside of Jeff Okudah last week,
NFL's on drugs.
Yeah, you would have told me I'm an idiot.
NFL's on drugs.
So it's pretty wild.
What I'm not grilling you per se, but I need you to speak on your boy Amani.
Yeah.
You trying to put him in the top 100 before the season started, and as your guy, you brought up stats to prove it. How you feeling about him up to this point?
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not flat out. It's not looking good. I think he was grabbing a lot last week. He's been
just like you can hear at the Cotton Play.
He's been making a lot of bad plays. So I expect him to get better. Maybe it was the injury, like you said, that'll give him a little tap. But man, it is not looking good at all. Guy needs to go out there and perform like he did last year. And maybe it's a little hit of, I'm not that guy anymore. I'm not the number 1 anymore. I'm not doing it, but.
Well, he was to start the season.
Yeah.
Jeff had to earn his job. He batted out Will Harris, who just transferred to the cornerback position to earn his job. And then he performed to become the number 1. You know what I'm saying? But Amani, this is why I saw it of him last year. I'm saying, and I told you at the beginning of the year, too. I've always thought he's a 2. You know what I'm saying? I think the situations he had last year, and then this is not like a fault or anything like a negative thing. He was just opportunistic on situations he was given. You know what I'm saying? None of those interceptions he had were true, like, lockdown cover. Give me that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, got it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that one against, just off the top Cardinals. Of my head, the one against the Cardinals, that was a great play on the ball. A diving interception.
Yeah.
Reading the pass, making the play.
Outside of that, though, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, just like situational awareness things. And
I can't picture all of his interceptions last year.
For sure. I can. And
You can picture every single one of his interceptions from last year?
Yes. And a lot of them were, you're shaking your head, but I can. Yes.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them were those type of
What
situations.
games did he have interceptions in?
I can't tell you what games, but I tell you the interceptions when I watched them. Yeah. A lot. If we finish the show, you watch, there's a highlight video of it. Yes. A lot of them were like tip balls, like, you know what I'm saying, like ones that weren't caught. And I told you that, though, beginning of the summer. Yeah. It's just it's showcasing
That's what happens with
now.
Interceptions, though, too.
That's what I'm saying. It's okay to be opportunistic, but I'm not calling him a good corner or top 100 player because of it. I'm saying he was just capitalized in certain situations.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I do give – like yesterday was just completely uncharacteristic, and that has to be like the injury. It absolutely has to.
Yeah,
I've never seen him do that. That's Will Harris-esque from what we saw yesterday.
For sure. It's got to be something. And there was a little, like, come on, making those calls. Like, people do that on every play. You know, you could call it interference on every play if you're going to be calling those.
Yeah.
But it's after you get a couple, they're watching you.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to know that. And after you get a couple of them, they're watching. They're watching you every play. They're watching you at the top of those routes. And he just kept doing it.
And, like, the reason why I think it's an injury, too, is, like, it wasn't just Adam Thielen abusing him. Again, it was a tight end, and I couldn't even wake up today and tell you his name. Got him a couple of times. I think got once by the fullback even. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like, clearly it's his back because he was still supposed to be at least a starter for us. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. I hope he does get it together. But even if not, though, my guy Dos Dion has more faith in Jerry Jacobs, who comes back after this week.
For sure.
And I have faith in Jerry Jacobs, too. We'll then have Jerry Jacobs and Jeff Okudah moving forward.
Yeah.
And a hungry, angry Jerry Jacobs who has a lot to prove because now he's an undrafted free agent, but he got put on the PUP list when he didn't want to. And he was pretty damn pissed off about it.
Yeah.
But we got this last 10 minutes, man. I want to break down this Monday Night Football game and get to a little bit of the rest of stuff around the league. And
for sure.
Maybe a little bit Detroit Pistons talk, man. But Sauce, take us to break, my brother.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there.
And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there.
Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin Mo Rats.
What up, though?
We just got an update on DeAndre Swift. It is obviously a shoulder injury. It's the 2 weeks that we actually were just discussing.
Yeah.
Maybe the bye week. Good news.
That is good news.
Yeah.
That's, hopefully he'll be back and ready to go after the bye. Going into Dallas. Maybe we'll get an injection. We'll have DeAndre Swift and Jameson Williams coming back into Dallas.
Yeah.
That would be big.
DeAndre Swift. You think James was coming back in Dallas?
Dallas, yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Shoot, I hope, man. I wonder, how familiar Dan needs him to be with that playbook. So in order to let him through, come back.
Run down the field. Jameson Williams, run as fast as you can.
He's got that type of speed,
yeah.
man. So I'm with you. So let me add some more to that list then, all right, for all the slap ass.
And I'm sure he's been studying the playbook like he hasn't been doing anything else, you know?
For sure. J-Mo, if I hope you're correct, I think we see Josh Pascal back. Romeo Okwara, a lot of people have been like in the chat, a lot of people on Twitter, Romeo Okwara. I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. I just need to see him back from that Achilles injury and still be productive, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even when he got that deal, I feel like a lot of us were kind of like, whoa, like, Romeo was good, but like, I don't know, man. Like we're a bad team, and a lot of past situations for him to get those sacks, you know. So plus the Achilles injuries, I just don't know that we're getting a Romeo Okwara back. I don't know which version of him we're getting back. So I question that, but hopefully he's back by then. But I for sure expect Josh Pascal to be back.
Yes.
Jerry Jacobs to be back. Big V probably going to remain on that list. I think he might be.
He's done for the year.
Yeah, I say he's done for the year.
He's done for the year.
Yeah, back surgery, kind of a serious.
Maybe
thing.
Levi.
Maybe Levi. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to still see him out, though. A couple guys on that list, man. Maybe Tommy Kramer comes back. I mean, we'll see. But I'm definitely excited to see those defensive pieces on the back, especially with, like, man, what if you had a concern like meter for Aiden?
I'm not even setting it yet.
Yeah.
It's like we said, we can't expect the guy to go out there and get 3 sacks every. He's shown us what he can do at his peak. You know, when he is healthy, when he is going, when he has some guys there helping him, he can get 3 sacks and a half. Obviously, you don't expect them to do that every play. And, yeah, I said this week, I'm going to give him a pass because of the injury. I'm going to give him a pass because of the injury. I'm going to give him a pass because the defensive line was even more banged up than it was last week. So, if he goes out there and does the same performance again against Seattle, then I'll start to set my meter.
Yeah.
Then if he goes out there and doesn't get in the stat book again against Seattle at home, that will be concerning. Yeah. But this week I'm going to give him a pass because of the injury and because it was on the road and he was missing, they're missing so much on that defensive front.
Didn't practice at all last week.
Yeah.
Other than Friday.
Yes.
I think that was more so like going through the motions and stuff like that. But I think, we've heard from Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn at this point. Like they all think they got one, and Nate Hutchinson. I'm not tripping. You're right. I probably shouldn't even set the meter.
Yeah.
Really
Meter's
should.
not, no.
I mean, it was eyebrow raising, you know what I'm saying, last week, but then you factor in that he was hurt. Like, yeah. And he did look tired, but I don't know if it was tired or just him being, like, beat the hell up, you know what I'm saying, from his injury and whatnot. Yeah. I see a lot of people in the chat, the Woodward Sports chat, saying AO sucks. Some people say he's a nickel back at best. I don't want to say he sucks, but, like, probably so. I think Jerry Jacobs could possibly take over that spot, or for sure at least the nickel spot. I mean, I'm be damn sure glad to introduce Jerry Jacobs back into this defense now that Tracy Walker's gone, especially. Yeah. Especially because Tracy's gone. But I got faith in AG, man, again, to formulate some type of something. Mm-hmm. You know, to keep these guys going, man. How disappointed were you in Ben Johnson yesterday? Or were there any disappointments outside of the third down?
No, that was really the only. So again, these are legitimate learning moments for Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
He hasn't been in that situation before. He hasn't been calling plays. Dan Campbell and the rest of the coaching staff have had a whole year in their jobs to learn from that. Ben Johnson, he's brand new to this. So I'm not worried about Ben Johnson. I think he'll right the ship. I think we'll put up some points on Seattle, even without DeAndre Swift.
100%.
As long as Amon-Ra is healthy, and hopefully Josh Reynolds too.
Josh Reynolds got banged up, looked like towards the end of the game too.
Yeah.
Dude, Jameson's face when he missed that touchdown. I mean, honestly, I think that's everybody's face, but for some reason, when I saw his look, I just read it more as like, could never be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, could never be me. Yeah, you know.
Wait till I'm back. That's a tutty.
Yeah, I guess it's probably too soon to hit the panic button on this team because of that too. Like, I mean, I really think J-Mo's going to be special.
I do too. I think he's going to be a big addition to this offense when he finally gets healthy.
Yeah, I agree. I guess I'll revert from hitting that panic button a little bit. I mean,
it's
Dan
still
Campbell,
only week 3.
Yeah,
everybody and their mother had the Lions going 1-2.
Plus, like when we first opened up the schedule book or on whatever site link, I'm saying you saw that game in Minnesota.
So that's an L.
Yeah, I mean we did.
We were in it. Yeah, it should have been a win for sure. It should have been great, but unfortunately, they didn't pull it out. Unfortunately, they didn't
can't be where we had talking about pulling out.
They didn't get that job done. So, yeah, you'd love to see them. That would have raised your expectations super high. But
yeah,
But
it was even like, I guess ultimately, yes, at the end of the day, probably somewhat comes down to the execution on the defense and Juju Hughes letting up that touchdown to Osborne. But Juju Hughes, again, is our backup guy, jumped in there because of the injury to Tracy. We had communication issues before. We're on the road. But still, that bonehead play or bonehead decisions by Dan Campbell at times, and even Ben Johnson. But, like you said, Ben Johnson, chalk it up. He's allowed to have a learning experience. It is his first year as a play caller. But Dan Campbell, I didn't even think to look at it that way, but he did have opportunities like this last year on the road and everything.
Yeah.
Lions have yet to get a victory, with Dan Campbell on the road yet.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And hopefully that'll be in Foxborough. Hopefully that'll be a big game, but I'm sick of the learning experiences for Dan Campbell. He's had enough of them. He had a whole year of learning experiences. He had a whole year where it was basically a wash, so he was trying out different shit to see what happens, see what works where.
Yeah.
This year is not that. This year is not a learning experience. This year you need to do things, you need to make the right calls to win football games, and you didn't do that when you had the opportunity.
I think that's
so. I'm not pushing the ejecto seat on Dan Campbell yet. Like I said, I had them going 7-10. I had them taking the loss here at the beginning of the year, so it's nothing crazy. But when it happens that way, the pressure starts to build, and pressure bursts pipes.
I look back to in that game in Indianapolis during the preseason because he was mic'd up for Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
And it come down to that last play, and AG's trying to get the call in, trying to calm his guy down, and just give. I think it was Derek Barnes. I don't know off the top of my head, but then Dan Campbell's kind of in the corner, freaking out. Last play of the game, man. Last play, and that same characteristics kind of just transfer to the play calling from yesterday in that fourth quarter, and maybe that's his weak point, man. Maybe that's his weak point. I pray that's something he corrects.
I pray.
Because it would just. Dare I say it, bro? We teased it last week, but if Campbell had to go, Benny boy, he's stepping him up to the big boy seat, captain chair
for sure.
Yeah,
and that's it. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to break down, and we're definitely going to get into more of that the rest of this week. But we appreciate you guys for sticking with us, for hanging out with us. We'll be here. We're at the Coliseum Nightclub. We are live on the WoodwardSports.com. Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Make sure you come join us. For the man to my left, the one, the only Speak Easy. For Young Sus, a.k.a. Chris Platty, holding it down TDs, and our boy, JB Smooth on the ones and twos. I am Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.